Alright, this is Hardspace Shipbreaker, episode 13, I believe, of our no revival run. Let's go ahead and get started. Looks like we have a level 6 Atlas Scout. That could be fun. I hate nomads. Like, I tried taking them apart, and that thing makes no sense to me. It's like maybe harder than the tug version for less payout. Exolab could be fun, but I think we want more expensive ships these days. This one only goes up to 14 million. What's the Atlas level 6 Scout go? Actually, it's less money than the Exolab, so we might go for the Exolab. Where is it? 14 versus 14. That's about the same. But I can definitely take a part of Exolab in no time. So I think we'll do that, just to mix it up a little bit. Should make for a slightly more relaxed episode, because macros are not difficult, even at the higher levels. Particularly Exolabs, because they don't have any fuel on them. They're all electrical. I'm gonna pull that thing off the front of the ship. And let's go ahead and take a look. We got this front kind of bumper on the front of the ship. We'll cut most of these off. We're going to leave that side attached, and we'll figure out why here in a minute as I get to turn off the panels. Looks like we got airlock there in the back on our right, ship's left. Looks like it's depressurized on the inside. Let's go ahead and grab a pickup here. I'm gonna get all these doors off just so we make sure that the cockpit is also depressurized, since there's sometimes the door was closed. Now it's open. And we'll get our rabbit, another microchip or something, some kind of pickup for the what do you call it? Armadillo? Beulah? What is this? Alright, we're gonna go ahead and release the thruster instead of cutting all these rear cut points first and then realizing we have no electricity in the back of the ship now where the thruster is. You don't want to do that because it then the thruster won't release. Alright, so some of these side sections, like the interior of the walls, was pressurized, which I probably could have figured out if I scanned it, but I didn't bother. Let's go ahead and pull the back of the ship into the processor. We got the thruster, that'll go straight down. There's some antenna coming off the bottom of the ship we're going to have to deal with real quick. Alright, so we got another arm there. Got these sections.
Salvage secured.
Go ahead and cut this thing. And pull these antennas / amplifiers into the barge. There's some wires which we've been looking for, which is good because that means we can not tear apart the ship for the wires and keep the salvage value. Now that those are out of the way, we're going to send the thruster down. This thing, processor, and let's go ahead and get some floor and ceiling panels off, I think. Probably the best way to start. Something like that.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
What did I break? Structure aluminum. Okay, that's not a big deal.
Supplies are dropping. Valuable object processed.
Not a ton of tethers left. We'll have to get some before this episode's over. Go down here. We could be a little more brazen about this and set this thing vertically, but we have to be careful not to cut the wires. We're running beneath the cut points. Go ahead and get these solar sails off as well. And send those to the barge. Inside, looks like we got some cryo canisters,
secured.
tanks
Credits
up front.
deposited.
We have to navigate these to get to the cut point behind them. And we should be able to push the side of the ship off. Nice. Cryo will kind of link to each other, and once they're free, send them down to the barge. One more
Salvage
tether.
secured. Account credit
See if we can
applied.
find something useful to do with it before we stack up. Is this thing fully disconnected? I think it is. Just need the batteries off. Perfect. Turn our headlight on to just to
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits
see if we can
transferred.
see the batteries a little easier. What is that? It's an amplifier. That's still good on. We also go over to the objects section. We'd see something
Salvage
purple here if there was a
deposit
battery.
confirmed.
Turn that
Applying
off.
credit.
Send that whole thing into the processor. Yes,
Tether supply depleted.
into the processor, and that's our last tether. So we'll go fill up. Pretty good on oxygen and fuel still. We might get oxygen here. I might leave it. We'll see if we can do it without it.
Thank you for your tethers restored.
Worst case scenario, we come back and get more. We still have this sort of front bumper on the front of the ship. That's fine. Grab this thing real quick over here, as well as that one,
Salvage
and
secured.
possibly cut out this
Applying
air fuel
credit.
filter. There might be some stuff
Salvage
connected to the
goal
inside of this
Rewards
wall
allocated.
where the air filter is. I don't know if this will come free or not. Probably some computer terminals or something.
Processor deposit
Speaking of which,
accepted.
let's get rid of
Credits
some of this
awarded.
stuff.
Salvage registered. Transferring credits.
Something like that. That. Not bad. This thing's not going anywhere. Where did I connect it to?
Salvage deposit secured. Credits
Connected the
awarded.
ship to the barge, not the computer like I thought. Everything after this is going to go in the barge when we get rid of the cockpit, so let's just get rid of it now. Almost. And we're going to get rid of this just in case. Probably could have left it on there. Actually, now that I think about it.
Salvage deposited. Applying credit
Yeah, to
to
get this side.
account.
There's also a reactor up front here, which they do on some of these models. And we just have to navigate around it and get to the cut point behind it, like we did with the cryo on the other side. Take care of that. The whole thing, including the cockpit, I think. Well, actually, now that I think about it, that's separate. I forgot they did that. Alright. Now the whole thing, including the reactor and
Processing
cockpit, can all go in the
valuable
front, and this
Credits awarded.
can go in the processor. Again, get the other roof and floor sections off.
Credit applied. Salvage goal met. Rewards will be paid.
Don't think I need any of these posters. One never wants to quite get free at this cut point. Or get out of the way for that matter. Nope, skip that one somehow.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited.
Alright, that's all floors and ceilings. I think there's a way where we skip the aluminum, we just throw this whole thing into the barge.
Salvage Salvage deposit
Now that I think about it, now that we got rid of the
Account
carbon
credited.
fiber, or nanocarbon rather, of these exterior panels. And we just have to get this side off
Object
too, I forgot about
accepted
that.
for processing. Credits deposited.
We'll get this side, we'll get the batteries. Actually, if they're attached to the, let's see what wall they're attached to. If they're, I think they're on the outside, which means we gotta take them off manually. You can kind of shake this ring loose. You saw my hand go up there. That's the, your character thinks they're about to be crushed. And it goes off. And I forgot to cut the solar sails off. So hang on, we got a few things to tear off the side and then we'll basically be done.
Salvage secured.
When I throw this whole
Credits
midsection
deposited.
into the barge though, it's got so many computers in it that we don't really care about the aluminum value of the panels. And everything else pretty much belongs in the barge. We'll see if that pays off when we can get to salvage level 5. Looks like I gotta get batteries and the solar sails themselves off this. Make sure that airlock goes in.
Salvage deposit registered.
All right, Cutter. You got 5 minutes left in the
battery.
ship before they turn the lights out on you. Pitter patter.
And there's 2 more down here. See that
Salvage accepted.
the whole body of the ship is starting to go, and we're gonna get a ton of salvage value, as you can see up at the top on the bar.
Salvage goal obtained.
Still
Additional
going.
rewards assigned. Salvage goal reached. Rewards assigned.
That was pretty great. And when we get these solar sails and the rest of the nanocarbon off this wall into the processor over the bar for the solar sails, that should put us over to the highest salvage goal, which is number 5, looks like. Should put us there. Got finished early.
Salvage deposited. Applying credit to
See what
account.
else is floating around here. What's that thing? I gotta say, of all the macros, the Exolab is super easy because there's no fuel and there's no like pipes running around the back of the ship or near the engines or the wall. There are all these electrical wires, but that actually makes this easier because we can throw the walls in as one,
Credits to account.
the outside ship
All
panels,
salvage goals
the
achieved.
nanocarbon,
Rewards
as one big
maximized.
chunk instead of doing it individually. So that got us to our final salvage goal. We're gonna go ahead and end the shift. There's nothing really left anyway.
New certification level has been achieved. License level increased.
Got what we wanted, another certification, couple million off our debt. And we're going to try to get some demo charges if we have enough links tokens. Got some more story here to go through,
Hello,
I'm sure.
Shipbreaker. You have 1.
Rook, what's cracking? You hitting your salvage quotas and actualizing your potential? I know I'm snarky about the corporate stuff. Can't help it, really. I think I'm missing the gene that makes folks just accept things when they could be better. I know the fight isn't for everyone, but I grew up with it. I spent more time shaking off station security than playing with friends. Maybe it's naive to think the world should be better. But I don't mind. I'd rather be hopeful than jaded. Oh, Weaver's buzzing me. Catch you later, Rook. Blue out.
Doesn't let me access the computer terminals during the sort of mini cutscene, whatever you want to call that. Where they
Good
talk.
morning, Shipbreaker. Your theta wave levels are high.
why I
Please
usually fool around with
administer 2
those, 'cause-
caffeine pods before starting your shift.
Got the Javelin Heavy Cargo Medium size, so there is an even bigger one than this. But before we do Javelins, we're going to want... Got a sticker, it looks like. going to want to get demo charges to get the ion rings off, which they sometimes have. We also kick out those wires so we can
Hi, it looks like
fix
you're
out
trying
that
to
ship a little
upgrade
more.
on your ship.
We've got
Would
plenty
you
of
like
some
help
of these
with
other
that?
parts, so these ones are going to go right away. You can see we're moving up the bar here.
Looks
We
like
want
a
to get to the
chronic
end.
case of
We don't have any
overachievement.
filters. We do have a piston we can install. Actually, let me just look at this real quick. Where the heck are
Hey there,
filters?
I'm Shippy. I'm here to
Down in
help you
food
get this ship
dispensers,
out
so
of
we'll
here.
have to find one of those, possibly in like a ship hopper, station hopper kind of ship. We'll see what we get. For now, we're gonna get a couple upgrades. We have 240 tokens. I think we can get the demo charges now. We can.
Ah, I see you grabbed the demo charge license. Great choice.
All right, Cutter. Now for some training on how to use...
Just chuck 'em down and light 'em up.
See what these upgrades
Should
cost
see a
me.
big
30,
boost in
40,
efficiency.
Hey, Cutter. I'm, patching through the operation
couple
manual for those things. Be careful, okay?
You want the reduced explosion size just because sometimes they can blow through a panel and like hit something dangerous like fuel tanks, reactors, other stuff. I've definitely had that happen in the past. 42 tokens left. Let's see if we got anything else we want. We can get charge push, it's not a bad upgrade. And that should do it. Alright, that's it for this episode. Tune in next time.